Speaking of fire and characters, there came your move to Greece.
Yes. Well, once I was in Germany, I had reached basically a point in my career in which I had topped off as far as financially. And I had a decision to make. I could have just leveled off and continued playing in Germany at a certain salary, which was quite nice actually. Or I was at the time 32, and I reached a point in my career. I said, all right, I can make a next step. Like I was probably had one or two more paychecks, and I had an offer from a Division II Spanish team and a top of the line Greece team. Knowing Greece's background, it was kind of 50-50 choice. My agent Pat King, he did advise me to go to the second division Spanish team, which was probably going to move up, which they did eventually move up, Morocco.
What were the reasons he gave?
Because everybody knows Greece is really financially unstable, and but my thinking was if I go to a Greece team, even though it was a lower ranked Greece team in the Division One, top Pro A rather, if I did well, maybe I can move up. I went to the Greece team, played fairly well, didn't get my money. We had some squabbles myself with the coaching staff and the owners. First time in my 11-year career I had financial trouble. I never had any trouble in Germany or here. Had some trouble, didn't get paid for 3 months, decided to go home. I went home in January 2007. 1 month led to 2, led to 3. I had offers from people calling me, but I was still trying to fight to get my money back from Greece. Next thing I know, I was offered a job in the States, a 9-to-5 job. I took it and basically thought my career was over.
Has the club in Greece settled with you yet? Do they still owe you?
They still owe me. I'm actually, it's quite funny that you asked that. I'm still in the process. It was a time before I came back here in the UK, I was actually calling them literally every day. When I say every day, literally not Monday through Friday, every day we had conversations. And every 4 months I might get a couple of dollars here and there, but they still owe me quite a bit of money as of right now. And my agent's actually still trying to fight for that. But who knows if I'm going to get it.
On the playing side, regarding your Greek experience, how are the crowds? Because we've heard it can be pretty volatile or hostile at times.
Yes, it was crazy. Like I played at IL Larissa, but when you go to teams like Aris, it was quite crazy to play in. And Olympiakos, Panathinaikos, I might have messed up the pronunciation, but yeah, it was crazy. Like it's nothing like it. Like they're chanting and they got the fireballs and the flares, and it's quite it's quite a raucous crowd.
You have to pity the cleaning man afterwards.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I feel sorry for the person that got to clean up the arena after that, yeah.
On a more lighter note, in your time playing basketball, what's probably the funniest experience you've had playing?
Wow, the funniest? I've had quite a few funny, I can't call it off the top of my head. I've had quite a lot of good experiences. I remember one time in Sheffield, like that's the days when we had Terrell Myers and Travis Conley and myself, Ty Cawthorn. We would just sing and do a little chant before we just came out on the court. We're quite a loose team. And my team in Brighton, that's probably my favorite team in all the 11 years I played, was the team with Sterling Davis and myself, Rico Alderson, Ralph Blaylock, that lot. We used to have quite a lot of fun in the locker room, stuff with Nick Nurse, like things that probably we can't really say on TV or on YouTube or whatever, but things that was really cool. I've had a lot of good experiences throughout my years.
Because Sterling hinted at it when he signed you in the match program. People think you're a legend, but he said that he thought that you were a bit of an idiot. Was that I hope that was a joke anyway.
Yeah, well, me and Sterling that's like my brother, And like I said, a lot of people, you have two different characters. You got the on your court persona, you got off the court persona. Off the court, I'm a nice guy, lovable. And on the court, I'm pretty happy too, but I'm serious too. I try to break your neck if I can. But we just like to have a laugh. Like off the court, I just like to have laugh. Life is too short to just be serious all the time. I just like to have fun. And at the time we was in Brighton, life was a little bit different than, we were on the beach in Brighton and we had a good time. We had a lot. We acted like idiots, I guess you could say.
Speaking of fun, it seems like you might be trying to put the Rockettes out of a job at the amount of times you whip up the crowd on certain occasions.
Yeah, well, we have some fun here on the team because people tend to think I play to the crowd, but at the same time, the crowd fires me up. Whether it's 8 people in the crowd or 8,000 or 80,000, it helps me stay focused. It's not necessarily just trying to be a cheerleader, but it just keeps me fired up and focused. My adrenaline starts flowing, it gets me a little bit more pumped up, make me play a little bit harder. That's the same way I was playing in Sheffield when I was in high school, when I was in college. That's just how I am. It's not necessarily for myself, it's for the whole team because it's natural. The crowd gets fired up, they're clapping and cheering, it just make you play a little extra harder. It's the same way when I'm on the road. Actually, I like playing on the road better at home because I like kind of just being that bad guy, just telling the crowd to shut up or whatever. But
it was noticeable when Newcastle were last up here. They started singing your name quite a few times.
Yeah, Newcastle fans and I goes a long way back, and it's a good core group of fans up there that we have a fairly good banner back and forth. But it's all fun because after the games, like I said, we was giving it to each other before the games, and then after the game they came and shook my hand and said nice to see you back in the league, and I said nice to see you again. So I mean, before the games and during the games is hate, but after the game you shake your hands and go about your business.
Does that go back to a previous game when you were at Brighton or Sheffield and playing against Newcastle?
Yeah, Newcastle's always like coming up here to Scotland. Obviously, the Scotland-Newcastle rivalry is what it is. But even before that, when I was in Sheffield, we had a fairly good rivalry with Newcastle, and when I was in Brighton, like when they had T.J. Walker and the likes, and I've always had a pretty good rivalry, like personal rivalry, and did my team with Newcastle. So as this carried over, and being here in Scotland, this amplifies it.
So Ian Reid didn't need to give you his infamous Newcastle speech.
He didn't have to, but yes, I have heard it, and I've heard all about the past history of the Newcastle Eagles and everything else from Mr. Reid, and that just add more fuel to the fire.
Finally, you're here till the rest of the season. Do you envision yourself still being in basketball beyond that?
Yeah, a lot of people ask me that, and when I came back, like I said, I was happy to come back with my situation at home, being laid off and whatnot, and being back in the basketball circles. I love it. Like I said, my Greece career ended abruptly, and I still had a lot to give. Like I was actually probably at the peak of my basketball career while I was in Greece. So to end my career that way was kind of upsetting. To be back now, when I first came back, obviously I wasn't in the condition I would like to be in. I'm slowly rounding into form. And I look forward to having a great last 2 months into the playoffs. With that said, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm 34. I still could play. Like I said, I'm in pretty good shape. I'm getting in better shape. If I was to commit myself for next year, I'm 150% sure I could go, if not here in the UK, somewhere else and play really well. With that said, I still have a family at home. And it's just, I got to see it. I mean, if I can get a 9-to-5 back at home and just be a regular everyday man, that'll be great, and I can be with my family. Financially, a lot of my friends at home and family members think I'm crazy because I have an opportunity to make probably twice as much as I would do any 9-to-5 at home to play overseas, but it comes a point where you just need to be with your family. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. Like I said, I just got to play by ear. Right now I'm just enjoying every practice, every game, every moment.
Okay, good stuff, Wilbur. Thank you very much.